Hello everybody. In this video we're going to talk about the House Reconciliation Bill, which was released a few days ago. This is the House version of what should be included in the reconciliation package. It has some really good things about visa recapture, paying extra fees to be able to file for adjustment of status inside the United States, even if your priority date is not current, provisions for certain undocumented immigrants to be able to get their green cards if they also pay certain fees. We'll talk about all this in more detail, so make sure you watch this video all the way until the end. So, what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody, and welcome back to our immigration channel. This is a place where we get the most up-to-date immigration news, immigration information, and everything else that you need to make your immigration journey less stressful. My name is Jacob Sapochnick, and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California, and we help clients in all 50 states and around the world. In this video, we're going to talk about the House version of the reconciliation bill. In the previous video, I've given you some bullet points about what the Senate is going to be doing in its own version and its own ideas how to include immigration into the reconciliation process. This is the House bill. It's a very interesting bill because not only it will increase the budget to USCIS by forcing people to pay fees to get certain benefits, but it also talks about recapture of unused visas, which many people were worried about and were not sure how it's going to happen. So in this video, I'm going to break it down exactly what we know about this bill, and trust me, there's some really good things that are included in this bill. So let's start with unused visas. According to this bill, and by the way, there's a link to the bill in the description of the video so you can see exactly the language. It's a little bit complicated, so I'm trying to make it more simple in this video. But I know it's important for many of you to review it, and therefore a link is included in the description of this video. So let's start with unused visas. The bill calls for recapture of more than 226,000 unused visas, both in family categories and in employment-based categories. And the bill goes into a calculation as to exactly how they're going to do it and how many visas are going to be recaptured. Now, this is really important to know because a lot of you are worried about what's going to happen with visas. Is the backlog going to continue to grow? And what will happen with all these visas that we're not able to use because consulates and embassies were closed and continue to remain closed? And especially on the family side, so many visas were left unused. Well, this bill specifically addresses that. What's going to happen to all these unused visas, both on the family visa side, which suffered really a lot, and of course on the employment-based visas as well, to make sure that people understand how those unused visas are going to be recaptured. Another interesting thing that this bill mentions when it comes to unused visas, and this is about DV lottery winners from 2017 and onwards. Those people that couldn't get their green cards are going to be eligible for green cards from these unused visas. They're also going to be allocated for DV lottery winners that were not able to get their visas, and this is really huge. If this is going to be implemented, it's going to help a lot of people to get their green cards and not feel frustrated that they were not able to get them because embassies were closed, they're not able to issue visas, and it was too late to meet the September 30th deadline to get their visas. So DV lottery winners are also included. Anyone from 2017 and onwards that couldn't get their green cards are going to be included in those unused visas. They're going to be recaptured and they'll be part of this pool. Some of the most interesting provisions of the bill is about allowing people to get their green cards inside the United States in a few different categories. And it breaks it down into 4 categories. And what essentially it does is that if these people that are currently maybe without status or they are here with a temporary status, as long as they pay a fee of $1,500 and they pass security checks, meaning that they're not criminals, they haven't committed any crimes, they will be eligible to get their green cards through the process of adjustment of status inside the United States. So the first category are reserved for those known as dreamers. So remember, any one of these categories that I mentioned, they're going to be able to get the green cards inside the United States as long as they pay a fee of $1,500 and pass a security background check. So who are these dreamers? Category number 1. They came to the United States before January 1st of 2021. They were 18 years or younger before they entered the United States. Now remember, this is different than DACA, deferred action. Under DACA, you have to be under 16 when you enter the United States, and you had to enter on or after June of 2007. This requirement is different for this category. Next, it goes to requirement of either education or serving in the military. Applicants must meet one out of these 4 requirements. Requirement number 1, you have to demonstrate a record of honorable service in the U.S. military. Number 2, attain or complete at least 2 years in a program that can lead to a degree from a U.S. institution of higher education or post-secondary education that can lead to some technical profession as well. Number 3, during the 3-year period before you apply for your green card, you have to demonstrate a consistent pattern of earned income inside the United States. So either have a stable job or maybe you have a business, but they want to see a consistent employment. They don't want to see people that are not working or relying on public benefits. So as long as you can show 3 years of continued employment, you should also qualify under these requirements. Number 4, then you have to demonstrate that you're currently enrolled in an institution of higher education, and that should be enough to demonstrate and meet those requirements. That's for dreamers. Let's move to essential workers. It's our second category of those individuals that will qualify to adjust their status inside the United States as long as they pay a fee of $1,500 and pass a background check. Just like the dreamers, you have to be continuously physically present in the United States since January 1st, 2021. You have to demonstrate a consistent record of earned income in an occupation listed in the DHS Advisory Memorandum on ensuring essential infrastructure for critical workers. They also have to demonstrate that they were able to work during the COVID-19 response period, which is also defined during the particular period of time starting from 2020. The third category are temporary protected status, also known as TPS. Once again, who qualifies under TPS? They have to be continuously living in the United States for at least 3 years in that status, to be a national of a country that is designated as TPS since January 1st of 2017. The same principles will apply for people that have DED status that were present in the United States since January 1st of 2017. But one of the most interesting parts of this bill is the ability for people to adjust their status while they're waiting for their priority date. There's a way to bypass that by paying certain fees. And here's what I mean by that. Section 6003 of the bill specifically explains who can adjust their status if they're inside the United States waiting for their priority dates. So if you're a beneficiary of an approved I-130 and you can pay a supplement fee of $1,500 plus $250 per each family member who is eligible to adjust and is currently inside the United States, the Department of Homeland Security may exempt you from the numerical limits, meaning that if you have a priority date that is over 2 years old and you're inside the United States and you're going to pay these fees, they're going to exempt you from waiting for your priority date to become current. You're going to be able to pay these fees if you're in the following categories. You're applying in categories FA1, FA3, FA4, and you're going to be able to pay a supplement fee of $2,500. You'll be able to exempt yourself from the priority dates as long as your date is over 2 years old. On the employment side, you're applying for your green card and you're waiting for your priority date. It's over 2 years old. Now with this bill, you're going to be able to, if you're pending in EB1 categories, EB2 categories, EB3 categories, pretty much all the major employment-based categories, you're going to pay a $5,000 supplement fee, and you'll be able to exempt yourself from the visa bulletin wait times as long as your dates are over 2 years old. You're waiting for that priority date. By paying that extra fee, you'll be able to adjust your status once that bill becomes law. And finally, you're applying for your EB5 category. You've been waiting for your priority date over 2 years. You're going to pay a supplement of $50,000 extra, and you'll be able to adjust your status inside the United States, irrespective if your priority date is current. If this bill becomes law, this particular section will take effect 180 days after the passage of this bill, or on May 1st, 2022, whichever comes earlier. So as you can see, this bill has a lot of good things. Obviously, if this passes, it's going to bring a lot of money to USCIS, DHS. People will be paying to bypass the visa bulletin to be able to adjust their status now. Very interesting provision. So in addition to the $1,500 fee to qualify for adjustment for people in the Dreamer category, essential workers, and TPS, they have other supplemental fees for people that are just waiting for their turn in line. They're going to be able to pay extra fees and adjust their status in the United States. So once again, very interesting provisions. The bill is a little bit complicated as to how it will calculate these unused green cards, but they do have a way to recapture green cards all the way back to 1992, moving forward 2021 and in the future. So these are some great news. Hopefully you found this information helpful. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And if you have any questions for me, please post them in the comments below. We love to hear from you, get some ideas, and see where you're at your immigration process. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.